My name is Kalie Gold. I work with One Acre Fund in Western Province here in Kenya. I've been here since February 2010. So today, I'm going to talk about One Acre Fund and how we think about our customers. First of all, would all of you please think about the drive from Nairobi to Kisumu, or the drive from here to Eldoret, or from here to Africa? You see farmers and agriculture everywhere. You see subsistence farmers everywhere, poor subsistence farmers everywhere, and they just are absolutely ubiquitous in Kenya, and they're ubiquitous around the world for smallholder subsistence farmers. If you are to walk onto the homesteads of these families, you encounter families of 6 or 8 people living in a mud house. There are 4 to 6 children. They almost never have electricity. They go through a yearly hunger season where they cannot feed their own food to their family. They must buy food at expensive prices. They cannot invest in the education of their children, and they generally are considered a population with very little hope and a very static poverty existence. One Acre Fund does not see these farmers or these families as static or hopeless. We see these families as customers. We see them as dynamic families that can actually empower themselves and grow their own way out of poverty through agriculture. Most of the world's poor are farmers. They're very similar to the farmers we see here in Kenya, the farmers in Rwanda, the farmers in Burundi, the farmers in Tanzania, and they all face a consistent problem of not being able to grow enough food to feed their families and to not be able to farm productively. This problem, One Acre Fund believes, can be broken down into a set of customer needs that we can create a service model around. One need is basic agricultural education about how soil works, about how fertilizer works, about how spacing seeds works, about how to think about your farm as an investment. Tools and technology that are not very fancy, basic fertilizers, high quality seeds, strings that show you where to place your maize on the ground, sticks that show you how far apart to space your rows. Delivery services, because these farmers often do not live near tarmac roads, they do not live near big markets, they do not receive delivery trucks to their communities on a regular basis, and they do not have large commercial vendors in their areas. We also see that these farmers need these inputs, these tools, this technology, the training, the delivery, all on credit as an input or asset loan. This allows them to take the risk to actually invest in their farms with these new tools, this new knowledge, and be able to pay for that service on a slow basis over time. And finally, these farmers also need a strategy to sell their harvest in a profitable way. So we provide the tools, the training, and the strategies that help them store their maize or their staple crop, whichever country we're working in, and sell it when profit is going to be the largest. All of this service model, this entire service model, no matter where One Acre Fund works under the rubric of scale, sustainability, and impact. We don't believe we should do anything without considering all 3 factors. We believe, reach a lot of people, do it cost effectively as a business does, and create positive change. In terms of scale, in order to reach a lot of people, we double our client base every single year. In 2009, we were serving 12,000 farm families. By 2013, we will be serving 250,000 farm families. And in those families, there will be over 500,000 children. We also believe, as I said, that we should continue always to run like a business, and there will be revenues from our farmers paying for the cost of providing the service. 85% of costs in Kenya today are covered by farmer revenue, and by 2015, by farmer revenue. Probably the most important part of this 3-part service model is the impact. Our products and services are well researched. We do a ton of piloting. We do a ton of innovation studies. And we see that the average 1 acre fund farmer does double their income on their farm. They do engage in very productive agricultural behaviors. They diversify their crops. They invest in education. They invest in health. And they stay with us every year because they do see our service as a valuable, very valuable asset to them. So, again, we believe that these farm families are not just poor, subsistence, smallholder farmers. They can be productive, and they can do for themselves what many others feel should be done for them. They can grow their own way to a more prosperous future. They can grow their own staple crops in a manner that produces income for them. We also do not encourage farmers to do this alone. This is not individuals, this is not 135,000 individuals doing this randomly around Kenya and Tanzania. Our farmers are organized into groups, and there are entire communities right now in Kenya producing more maize and securing food for entire communities, not just their own families. We believe that this will create a revolution, a very, very radical change in how food is produced in places like Kenya and Rwanda, and who is producing it and who is profiting from it. At the end of the day, these farmers can do this for themselves. They do need the right services, and they do need to be treated as valued customers, and that is an idea. Let's spread it.